We're going to begin here with that defining moment in the Me Too movement.
Harvey Weinstein, once considered the most powerful man in Hollywood, now sits in a jail tonight, convicted of felony sex crimes.
After 5 days of deliberations, the jury found Weinstein guilty of third-degree rape and criminal sexual acts, but acquitted him of 3 other counts, including the most serious predatory sexual assault. Weinstein showed little emotion when the verdict was read, but seemed stunned when he was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs. He was not allowed to take the walker he's been using since the trial began. It was wheeled out of the courtroom after he was taken away.
CBS 2's Alice Gaynor, she's been covering this trial since the very beginning. She was in the courtroom as well when that verdict was read today, in studio to give us an update. Alice?
Maurice and Christine, the packed courtroom was mostly silent as the verdict was read. 15 court officers lined the perimeter, with 3 of them surrounding Weinstein, so it was hard to see his exact reaction at that moment. Now, after the verdict was read, it remained silent as the words were digested by all. Harvey Weinstein, now a convicted rapist. If Harvey Weinstein was nervous about a verdict today, he didn't show it this morning.
Mr. Weinstein, did you get any sleep this weekend?
About 2 hours later, he'd be put into handcuffs, carted off to Rikers Island. We, the jury, have reached a verdict, read the note to the judge around 11:30 a.m. Not guilty of the most serious charge against him, predatory sexual assault, and not guilty of rape in the first degree. But he was found guilty of criminal sexual act in the first degree and rape in the third degree.
He didn't cry, he didn't break down, he wasn't sobbing, he was more in a state of disbelief. He just said, and he just kept repeating, but I'm innocent, but I'm innocent.
Weinstein is a vicious serial sexual predator who used his power to threaten, rape, assault, trick, humiliate, and silence his victims.
Women were believed.
Gloria Allred represents 2 of the 3 women the charges were based around.
This is the age of empowerment of women, and you cannot intimidate them anymore.
The jury's verdict shows that they believed the testimony of Mimi Haley and Jessica Mann, but had doubts about the testimony of actress Annabella Sciorra. Weinstein was found guilty of criminal sexual act for forcing a sex act on Mimi Haley in 2006 at his Soho apartment. He was also found guilty of one of the rape charges, rape in the third degree, for the attack on Jessica Mann in 2013 at a Manhattan hotel, but not guilty of rape in the first degree. He was also found not guilty of 2 counts of predatory sexual assault. Annabella Sciorra alleges Weinstein raped her in the early 90s after forcing his way into her Gramercy Park apartment. The statute of limitations for a rape charge had run out, but the DA's office was able to use her allegation together with Haley and Mann's crimes for the 2 counts of predatory sexual assault charge to show a pattern. On Friday, the jury hinted they might be hung on the predatory sexual assault charge, sending a note reading, "We, the jury, request to understand if we can be hung on 1 and/or 3, but unanimous on the others." But today, the jury of 7 men and 5 women came to a unanimous decision.
I can't look behind the jury's verdict or how they arrived at that. We have to respect that process. But by no means is it a statement against Ms. Sciorra or against anything that she said in court.
Most jurors were escorted out of the courthouse and didn't say anything. We caught up with the foreman, who says he isn't ready to talk about how they reached this verdict just yet. Harvey Weinstein's walker, a controversy all its own, was wheeled out for the first time without the disgraced movie mogul behind it. His hands, which once gripped it so firmly for support, now cuffed in the front of his body, soon to be holding onto the bars in front of him. And Weinstein will be in the infirmary at Rikers since the defense argued he's been under the care of 5 doctors and had an unsuccessful back surgery. Sentencing will be March 11th. He's facing up to 25 years behind bars on one charge and up to 4 years on the other.